Today on Teach Me How to Vegan.
Wherever you're at on your journey, if you could use a little jump start to keep moving forward, keep taking more action.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like a lot of these tips, like how I'm just like in the kitchen the last few years, I feel like some of these tips could help me get my mojo back. So even if you've kind of stalled in the kitchen, like you're fine on the journey, you're fine with what you're doing, but you're stalled in the kitchen, maybe this could help too.
I'm glad to hear you say that. That's where I was going with this list.
Yeah.
It could be somebody who's not even close to vegan, but they want to take a baby step.
Yeah.
Or somebody like you who's been vegan for years and years and years, and you could use a little swagger bag.
Yes. Yes.
Kitchen swagger. Kitchen.
Welcome to Teach Me How to Vegan.
A podcast where we explore how to switch to a vegan diet.
I'm Tony, a health educator, fitness instructor, and plant-based eating program manager for Animal Protection of New Mexico.
I'm Mickey, a stay-at-home homeschooling mom and vegan cook who likes to play in the kitchen.
Our family stopped eating meat in 2007.
And we went vegan in 2016. Now we like to share with others what we've learned.
Thanks for joining us.
Let's get started.
Welcome to the show. As always, thank you for joining us. Today we're kind of in the middle. We are actually smack dab in the middle of World Vegan Month. So we've been celebrating World Vegan Month, and one of the things that we at Animal Protection New Mexico are doing is encouraging people to pledge to take action. And that can look like anything you want it to look like. It should be specific to you and meaningful to you. So for today's topic, we're talking about more baby steps that you can take toward veganism or a plant-based diet. We did the whole episode on baby steps and talked about, how to take baby steps to get you there. And today we're just going to share 10 more very specific baby steps that you can take, right? So it could be that you've been on this journey for a long time and you're kind of thinking like, what's the next step I can take? Well, maybe one of these things you haven't done yet, and that can be your thing that you do, right? Or you've been listening to this podcast, or you've been exploring resources and stuck in the preparation stage and you just can't take the leap yet, right?
Yeah.
You just haven't been able to you're so into it, you want to do it, and you just haven't done it. Well, maybe you could just start with one of these steps. Just take one of these baby steps, and that's something you can start today or this month, and that can be your pledge, right? So to learn more about pledges, we'll post a link in the show notes so you can see what people are pledging to do and, some examples of them. So real quick before we start, my pledge, which I haven't fully done yet, full disclosure, but...
Have you even attempted it?
Why do you have to get so real all the time?
Well...
I've done some research on it, but I haven't
thought about it, huh?
Yes,
You've been contemplating it?
I'm in the preparation stage of my pledge, but we're only halfway through.
We're only halfway through.
I only need to be halfway there technically.
Well, I guess since I need to go grocery shopping, you should tell me what needs to be added to the list.
I'm gonna put a couple things on the list because my pledge is to learn how to make flan, vegan flan.
Yes, your favorite, one of your many's.
Yeah, and. Yeah, there's really nowhere to get it locally. We found some amazing vegan flan in California.
Yes.
And where were we? I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up because if anyone's in California, you have to go there.
Yes.
And I'll link the name of it because it'll come to me at some point.
Because, yeah, we totally shared a picture of you chowing it down and Fortune munching on some tres leches cake.
Anyway, I've been, talking to local places like, you should do this.
Flan. Yeah, yeah.
At any rate, it's good to know how to make these things for yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So
because one of our tips is to learn how to veganize some of your favorites. And not only like how Tony's his favorite, the flan, and it's a super special thing, but also your favorites that you eat all the time. And that's one of our initial baby steps that we mentioned. And so this is sort of an extension of that to learn how to make some of those special things too.
Right, exactly. It's taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
We veganize so many things, and flan is one of those things that I don't want all the time, but I do want it for
some special occasions.
For special occasions and stuff.
And then there's a couple things that end up being your specialty because you're like, I just really want to try this, or I really want it, and so you learn to make it for my birthday or whatever, Mother's Day or something like that. And so then it becomes your specialty. So this could be one of your new specialties.
Oh, yay. I mean, everyone could learn how to make it, you know.
Yeah, no, I'll learn too, I'm sure, because then I can make it for you for your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You-
Food is a very prominent part of our birthdays, apparently.
if you didn't know. All right, so Mickey, I'm going to ask you, what might be your pledge for World Vegan Month?
Put me on the spot, eh? I think I will go with cook more at home or cook less convenience stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because I've been the last like few years, even before, you know, the whole pandemic stuff, but then that really exacerbated it and just sort of has extended this like lack of desire to like cook in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want a lot of like convenience stuff, either in the kitchen or eating out. So I think I'd like to get back to sort of the less convenient stuff, less convenience things, but still figure out quick stuff because we're still in that want it quick and fast and easy
Like
stage.
it has to be quick, fast, and easy, but not the typical convenience foods.
Right.
Like we're not falling back on Morningstar nuggets all the time.
All the time, yes.
Or just as
or
an
the
example.
burritos,
Right.
the microwave burritos, or I think just try to get, and I think it needs to, I think meal planning needs to be back on our radar.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, we've talked about meal planning and
Uh-huh.
how it's been so great for our family.
Yes.
And then with the pandemic and things, we just kind of have fallen off of it. But it's so helpful.
It is so helpful. So yeah, I think maybe meal planning will help. But I get so picky, and it's really, look, I annoy myself. I'm real with it. Okay. I know it's a little like I'm the one that cares about it and y'all don't. But so like I don't like the like for breakfast on Monday, we're going to have just egg, toast, and potatoes. And for lunch, we're going to have this, and dinner. I used to like that. But then I found that it felt too restrictive or something, or like I'm very much like I want to eat what I want to eat when I want to eat it. Mm-hmm. And so if what's on the meal for that day is not what I want, we're going to change it.
We switch it all around.
Yeah. So I think the trick is to just come up with a list of meals that we have everything for, and have some breakfasts and have some lunch and dinners that we have everything for. And then I have the option to pick what I want from the list on any given day.
Yeah, I think that's what we've talked about switching to. So it's not Monday this, Tuesday this.
Yeah.
But it's here's 7 breakfasts, 7 lunches,
Yes.
and 7 dinners.
Yeah.
And that way you get to have your pick.
Yes. And I think that works better for me. Mm-hmm. You guys would be fine with whatever.
Yeah, we don't care. If it's 7 things that I like, I have zero care
when we eat it.
which one it is on which day. There's no possible way I could care less.
I know. And sometimes the boys really like, they really enjoyed when it was breakfast was this on this day, because they could go look at the schedule and see it.
Uh-huh.
But mom threw that out the window. So maybe I'll do something like that again.
Okay.
So I think figure out the meals and try to cook more. And I think, again, with the meal planning and then prepping is super helpful too sometimes.
Yeah.
So it kind of like all goes together, and it's just, what do I have energy for? And so I just want to try to get that desire to cook in the kitchen with less convenient stuff back. I want to get that back.
All right. So there you go.
There you go.
There's your pledge.
Speaking of which, smells like the banana muffins are almost ready. So
Awesome.
see if there's a beep here in a minute.
All right, so cool. You can see how, your pledge should be very specific to you and significant and important. And those are our pledges. We would love, if you're going to take a pledge, we would love for you to share it on social media and tag APNM on Facebook or Instagram. We'll link those in the show notes if you don't follow already. And that way we could just see what everybody else is pledging and what everybody's doing this month to take more action. That would be great.
Mm-hmm. And if you have a flan recipe, go ahead and send that. Tony's
if you have a tried and true, then help me out. Hook me up. Let me know what's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the very specific baby steps that people can do this
Now,
month.
I haven't seen this list, so it'll be initial honest reactions, y'all.
Yeah, it's kind of like the question, how to answer those questions where I did the thing and then you were just reacting in real time. So first on the list of more baby steps you can take is Veganize One Meal. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this before, like that's my thing. How we talked in depth about how important it is to
Yes.
veganize your go-to meals. But maybe you might even be thinking, because we said start with 5. And that might overwhelm you. And
Okay,
sometimes
yep.
you need, like, where am I going to start? Start with 1.
Yeah, just
you know,
pick
it's just
one.
like anything. Like if you want to run a marathon, oh my God, what am I going to do? Well, run 1 mile.
Yeah.
Start with 1.
Yeah.
And then you can build up. So just pick 1.
Yeah.
Even if it's the easiest one. And veganize 1 meal to where you like it.
Yeah. And seriously, the easiest thing that I can think of is cereal or oatmeal. Make sure you have a vegan cereal and switch to a plant-based milk. Done.
Yep. Just find one that you like.
Woohoo, success.
Check the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the, what is your bare minimum? Another podcast we listen to talks about like what's the bare minimum that you want to get to and get done in a day, and then celebrate that. Like, it can be a success.
Yeah.
The bare minimum can be a success.
Yeah, it's not like, I'm not doing anything great. All I did was eat vegan oatmeal. Hey, it's flip the script and say, hey, I ate vegan oatmeal today.
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
That's one baby step forward.
Yeah, and because finding a plant-based milk you like, that's a big success. And knowing what you like is a big success in this whole endeavor.
That's very true.
Okay.
So pick 1. And if you're trying to get your family on board, then maybe your challenge can be veganize one that the family likes.
Yes.
If you want to take it there. Second on the list of more baby steps, find one takeout option that you like.
Oh, okay.
So we've talked about like researching local restaurants and all of that. And maybe it's just find one.
Yes. Yeah.
That's your pledge this month. Try a few and find one that you like. And then that could be your go-to.
Yep.
Because as many great options there might be, we all have our go-tos. Like, let's be real.
Oh, gosh, yes.
I
got my go-to.
We do, yeah.
We
even
totally
there's different
do.
restaurants that we go to, and their menus are, they have vast vegan options. Like, there's so much good stuff. And I order the same exact thing every single time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like the power of finding one that you really like is huge.
And then it becomes Old Faithful.
And you can always fall back on it. So maybe that could be a huge victory for people finding that one. So third on our list of more baby steps that you can take is learn one new recipe.
Yes.
So here's my pledge. Just one.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make a whole Mexican feast. I'm just picking that one.
Just picking that one. Yeah.
The rest could just be beans and rice.
Yeah.
Right? But so just, learning that one. Because I think, too, this can be so powerful.
Yes.
Because maybe people have veganized their 5 or X amount. You kind of found a rhythm. But then to throw some new things in the mix is such a big deal. And if you could just learn one.
Yes.
Because sometimes you're like, oh, I want to learn this. Well, today, right now, this month, learn one.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I actually just pinned a recipe the other day that I'm like, ooh, I want to try this soon. It's a vegan Salisbury steak.
Oh.
With lentils and vital wheat gluten. And the picture looked amazing.
That should be your pledge.
The gravy. Oh, it looked really good.
Yeah.
So.
That sounds amazing. And I was just thinking, like, when I was, doing this list, when we learned how to make yellow curry at home.
Yeah.
I just felt like that was, like, life-changing.
Yeah, that was.
It was just one new meal in the rotation, but I just love it so much. The kids love it so much.
Yeah.
What a beautiful way to eat so many vegetables.
Yeah. Yep. So much so that you guys don't eat yellow curry out.
Ever, anywhere.
Because you like it at home the best. Yeah.
Yep. And then it's just such a great meal on so many levels. So if you, just learn one. Just take one and learn one new one.
Yeah.
And then that can also build your self-efficacy in the kitchen. You're like, oh, I can handle this.
Yes.
And it builds your confidence.
Yeah. And that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
There's lots of layers to that one, as with all of these. All right. So fourth on the list of more baby steps is try one new food. Do you remember way back in the day when we were trying to get our quote unquote like get our health on track. Or we were trying to like change our diet. And we had this thing for a while where we said like every time we go grocery shopping, we're going to buy one vegetable we had never tried.
Okay. Is that how we got eggplant in our rotation?
Probably.
Because we never really had done eggplant before. And I feel like that's one that like, you know, you always see, and everybody likes eggplant parm, you know, or a lot of people like eggplant parm.
It's me. I'm a lot of people.
But like, it's also one of those ones that like, what else do you do with it? So maybe that's how eggplant came into our lives, because now we've got a couple of different things with eggplant.
Yeah, I really think it is, because there's a lot of those vegetables you see all the time, but you never buy them.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not something you've never had before, but something you've never bought and cooked.
Yeah. You know what else I think came into our lives that way? Winter squash.
Yeah.
I think winter squash did, like the butternut and the spaghetti squash.
Yes. Yeah. I think it was that time. That's when we added those. We tried some other things that didn't really become staples, but we tried them. Like I think we tried mustard greens and chard. I know we did something with chard.
And now I want to get back to those anyway. So maybe that's another one to get. Like I really want to have a good greens recipe.
Yeah.
Collards,
because sometimes all it takes is trying it one time. Like with the spaghetti squash, for example. We were on that kick and it's like, okay, we're going to do this. And then you realize, oh my gosh, it's so easy to cook.
Yeah.
And it's really good and everyone likes it. And then it became like an instant staple.
Yeah, it did for a long time.
Yeah, but you just have to force yourself to do it.
Yeah. Trying the one new vegetable or one new food can really expand your plate.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And expand, because like with the spaghetti squash, we did it super simple where we just like treated it like it was spaghetti with pasta sauce and like a vegan parm. And then I would do garlic bread and like green beans, just like I would have done with spaghetti. But then like we're like, oh, let's try something else. So I looked up some other recipes and I found like a lo mein recipe with spaghetti squash and all sorts of other recipes, baked spaghetti squash, like, and so it can really change once you get used to cooking it. You can really then expand into a whole new repertoire of recipes.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and for me, I think, and for us, speak for myself, but it's really just getting over the hump of just trying it the first time.
Yeah,
like buying it the first time, you feel so like out of your comfort zone, and I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't know how much I need.
Yeah, even at the at the grocery store, I feel weird like putting it in the basket. Like my brain feels like everybody around me knows I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, Mr. 3.
I know. Enneagram 3 textbook right here. Everyone's gonna know I'm a fraud.
How are they gonna know?
I know, but then you just buy it, you just figure it out, and then you feel so comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And then it's just part of your repertoire.
Yes.
So 5th on the list of more baby steps is try one new product. So instead of just food, with the food I was thinking, like spaghetti squash or maybe hummus or quinoa, a new grain if your grains are only like rice and wheat and that's the only grains you eat.
Right.
Try one new food. Here I'm talking about try one new product. Maybe you've been curious about Just Egg.
Oh my gosh. Do it.
And you haven't tried it yet. Mickey would say, put it on your list the very next time you go out.
Yes.
Right? Like try that. Maybe you've been curious about the vegan ice creams that you've seen. Pick one of the ones that looks really good to you and try it.
Yeah.
If it's, those vegan cookies you've seen at the bakery that look good, but you're hesitant, like take a leap and give it a shot. And if you try some of the products that we've talked about that we're just obsessed with, like Just Egg or the Ben & Jerry's vegan ice creams or the Beyond Burgers, like I'd be really surprised if you're disappointed with any of those purchases.
Yeah.
But that can be just a step you take. I'm going to try one product this time. Because you don't want to load your cart up. You don't want to try Just Egg and this ice cream and this thing and this. And then you spent like $40 on new products that you don't know if you're going to like. That's scary. Just pick one.
Yeah.
Just Egg is somewhere between $3 to $4. Just try one. or, just as an example, most of these are around that price range.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
Like 3 to 6.
Yeah. Worst case that you're
up it a
not,
little
it's
bit.
not as huge of a gamble, but it's a quote unquote gamble that could pay off a lot. In our
Yes.
case, Just Egg. We kind of slept on Just Egg for a while.
Well, it was, we couldn't, I don't know if we had a hard time finding it. It wasn't at stores that we shopped at regularly.
Oh, so we would have had to go out of our way.
We would have had to go out of our way. And I think at that time, the places that it was more expensive. And so it wasn't economical for our family of 4. You know what I mean? But now I can find it at a price that I'm okay paying with because I love it so darn much. It's, oh my God.
And for me, I thought it wasn't going to be as impressive as it was. That's why if I knew how good it was, I'd go out of my way to go get it. But I just thought, how good could it really be?
Oh man.
Boy,
were you wrong.
I know. I was
so
very,
glad
very
too.
wrong. So
anyway, try a new product.
no sponsorships, by the way.
None. We'll gladly take some Just Egg off anybody's hand that wants to give it to us, but no sponsorship here.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, try something new.
All right. So 6th on the list of more baby steps, attend one cooking class or cooking demonstration.
Okay.
Because again, if just attend one, just one. Maybe pick one topic that interests you,
Yes.
just one thing you want to learn, and go out there and attend. There's so many available virtually now.
Yeah. And I feel like I can't stress enough how important it is to get comfortable in the kitchen. If you didn't grow up cooking beside somebody, it's going to feel weird. It's going to be strange or a challenge, but then that's where you grow, right? In any situation, when you're just outside your comfort zone, that's, your comfort zone expands a little bit more and a little bit more. And I think that's really true in the kitchen also.
Yep.
And so you really, if you're not comfortable in the kitchen, expand, push yourself just that little bit and expand and get comfortable in the kitchen.
Right. And this is where the cooking classes or demonstrations come in handy because, and trust me, you don't have to be have a certain skill set in order to attend. These classes are not for people who know how to cook.
Right.
So don't
certainly ours are.
If that's your notion, throw that out because
Yes.
the whole point is to learn, especially the ones we do. It's we're trying to help people who have no baseline. So
Yeah.
very basic. The people who are I know how to boil water and make toast. And that's
We got
about
you.
It. Right. So this can be your space to learn, how do I saute something? How do I chop something? How small do I make it? Because sometimes if you're not familiar, you get overwhelmed with all the details.
And if you're really apprehensive about, going to a cooking class, look for a virtual one. And if even that one, that sounds like a lot to you, go to YouTube. There's so much stuff on YouTube. I'm sure there's videos how to, chop an onion, how to saute vegetables, how to all of that stuff.
Right. So if you can just get started by attending one, don't, it doesn't have to be a big commitment, but check one out.
Yeah.
7th on the list of more baby steps, have a vegan movie night.
Ooh, yes. Do that.
It'd be something very simple, right?
That would be, and that's fun.
Right. It's a fun thing to do. It's not like a daunting task.
Yes. Take the pressure off and just have a good time.
Right. So many great movies are streaming at home right now. Or you could watch an Old Faithful. But it's easy. I think movie snacks are one of the easiest things to veganize or find accidentally vegan.
Yeah.
Just find a popcorn that's vegan. Very easy to find, actually.
Yeah.
We can even link a couple options.
We even found a kettle corn. We found a kettle corn and a butter one that's vegan.
Yeah. Popcorn's one of my favorite food groups.
Yes,
so
it is.
I could tell you all. We could do a whole episode
Tony
about popcorn.
could go on and on about it.
And we might invite Constantine to guest star on that.
Yeah, that'll be that's y'all's jam.
We'll do a bonus episode. There's also lots of candies,
yes.
just movie snacks, candies.
Like
that you can
at
get.
the Dollar Tree when you go into that aisle that has all the movie candies that are normally at the movie theaters, and you can
boxes.
Yeah, the boxes. You can load up on that.
Yeah. And check out our Veganizing Halloween episode for loads and loads of candies. So just have a fun movie night. The family, if you have like family or friends or whatever, no one even needs to know it's a vegan movie night.
Yeah.
If they're kind of on board and want to try something out, but doing a meal is daunting, or just, okay, we're going to have a movie night. I'm going to take care of all the snacks.
Yeah.
Just bring your PJs and your fuzzy socks.
Yes. Yeah.
And, just have a great time.
Yeah.
That could be a win, a celebration.
I like that. What other snacks would you say for movie night besides popcorn and candy?
Oh, well, let's see.
I've got a couple. Guacamole and chips, salsa and chips.
Oh, yeah.
Basically dips and chips are good. One of the easiest ways to do a dip is to just get a vegan sour cream and like a packet, like a ranch packet. You have to specifically look for a vegan ranch packet, but I found some French onion ones that are vegan, and you just mix it in.
Yeah,
and
a lot
that's
of
it.
the French onion ones are vegan, and it's like the little spice packet.
Yeah.
And then you mix it with one of the vegan sour creams, like Mick said. And we found some pre-made French onion dips recently.
My word.
That are
delicious.
Like,
Costco had the Hope brand of a French onion. I think it's made with almond milk. Oh my gosh.
That was the one.
So good. Yeah, we found it not in New Mexico right now. Not in Albuquerque anyway.
So we're going to be leaving some comment slips at our local Costco's because they need to get on the ball.
Yep. And then also the Kite Hill French onion dip was really good also.
Yes.
And then we've also had the Good Karma French onion dip. That was delicious also. So, yeah. So I feel like dips and chips.
I'm so silly. I'm like, what else would I have? I have no idea. Popcorn. I can't think outside of popcorn because I'm not.
Because you're so fine with popcorn.
Yeah, I'm not interested in anything else. I'm not.
So,
but if you wanted other, like, not just candy and popcorn.
Yeah.
Or the chips and dips and stuff. You could also do the roasted chickpeas that we've talked about before. Thinking that's a good snack.
I want to pull this one out of the chips and dip specifically because it's new that we tried and it was really delicious. The bean dip and the sweet chili Doritos.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good combo.
The Frito brand bean dip.
Yes.
Just the plain one.
Yep.
Is accidentally vegan. And you get the sweet chili lime Doritos.
Yes.
That's a good combo.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm done.
So anyway.
I like chips and dip.
Have a vegan movie night. Yep. I'm the popcorn guy. She's the chips and dip.
Yes.
Queen.
Especially French onion.
All right. So 8th on the list of more baby steps. You could share your why with one person. Because sometimes, we talked about sharing your why and talking to people in your family or just people in your circle,
Yeah.
And sometimes that's overwhelming.
Yeah.
But one baby step you could take is just pick one person that you feel comfortable with and share your why with them.
Yeah. And that could be good practice.
Right.
Because sometimes it's overwhelming, especially when you're caught off guard. Like I can't tell you how many times I've been caught off guard and So it could be really good practice also to just have your go-to responses, your go-to statements for what you're comfortable sharing. And so sharing with that one person could be good practice.
Yeah. I just, it could be over coffee or something. You're just hanging out and just, hey, I want to share something with you.
Yeah.
That could be a place to start. Number 9 on the list of more baby steps. Bring a vegan dish to a potluck.
Yes.
So that it's kind of the season for potlucks and
or cookie exchange. Do the vegan ones
or cookie exchange stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know how much people may or may not be gathering this year,
right?
Or doing potlucks and things like that. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but if that is a thing that's going on, or exchanges and stuff, you could bring a vegan flavor to the table.
Yes.
And again, no one needs to even know that it is vegan.
Yep. Until they see you eating it.
Right. Then that'll be the giveaway.
That's how we roll.
Well, if they know you're vegan.
Yeah, if they know you're vegan, yeah. We end up bringing We usually end up signing up for like a main dish, so we know there's always something there for us to eat.
Yep.
And then we just set it out. And sometimes it ends up getting labeled because then it goes too fast, which is great because people don't realize it.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. And
Yeah.
it's cool when they're like, oh, that was so good. And then they find out it was vegan.
Vegan, yeah. Or it ends up, most of the foods, I've been at some places where it does get labeled for allergy reasons.
Yeah.
Where everything gets labeled.
Yeah, yeah.
So that comes up too. But yeah, just be that one.
Mm-hmm.
And take that vegan dish.
And also, if other vegans, other vegetarians, or people with food allergies will thank you.
Yes.
They will.
Yep.
You know, people with dairy allergies, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You could be one of the heroes that brought that.
Yes.
That main dish or whatever you brought. Or, you know, sometimes it could be a dessert.
Yeah, sometimes the dessert.
Maybe we have options in the food, but the desserts all are just drenched in dairy.
Yeah. Yes.
Someone just took a dairy brush and painted that whole dessert table. So it's really nice and refreshing to have some cookies or something that you can enjoy.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, so that can be a fun baby step and challenge to do this month. And number 10, last but not least on our more baby steps list, is have a vegan holiday meal.
Yes. Do it.
This could be for anyone, you know, maybe you want to just, let's do the thing this year.
Yeah.
Or you've been trying to build up and okay, it could be a fun challenge. Let's make the whole entire thing vegan, right?
Yep.
Or, you know, the family is kind of iffy. Okay, well, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And we have other episodes and webinars where we talk in depth about making vegan holiday meals. We did a whole webinar with several guest chefs that share different recipes for sides and main dishes. The options are endless.
Like besides just, so sometimes people aren't interested in the roasts, like the vegan roasts that are out on the market. And we've done stuffed squash before. In one of the webinars, a guest did a stuffed squash, and it was so delicious.
Oh my God, it was so good.
So delicious. And then I've also done a lentil loaf for the holidays.
For the main dish.
For the main dish, as an option for the main dish. Before the whole meal went vegan, we did a lentil loaf at Thanksgiving. Because then we got to the point where at our house, we wanted it completely vegan. And that was a fun conversation.
But we got there. We got there.
We did get there. It wasn't bad. And we got there. And now all the holiday meals are vegan.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did a lentil loaf. And it was interesting because the first year I did it, it was still a mixed table of food. We'll call it like that. Some people tried the lentil loaf I remember my mom went back for more lentil loaf because she liked it so much.
And that's telling, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And in the past, too, when we've done stuffed squash at the mixed table, people will be interested in that.
Yeah. And because sometimes it'll be a stuffed butternut squash, and we'll cut each half, like when you cut it in half and then you fill it, we'll cut those sometimes in 4s. So people who are interested in trying it, they get a little section that's enough for them to try in case they don't like it. And I think the majority of people actually liked it and were like, I wish there was more. But they didn't want to take more because that was our main dish. So you said we have a couple webinars that have everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because we have one where we did a wide variety of things.
Yeah.
That one you were talking about. And then we did one on pumpkin, everything. So that's where you can get your pumpkin pie, your pumpkin cheesecake.
Yes, and those are so
recipes
good.
And demos.
Yeah.
And because that for me was a big how am I going to make a vegan pumpkin pie?
Yeah. The green bean casserole is up somewhere too, isn't it?
That's on the webinar.
Yeah, because that's like the main thing that I was like, I got to veganize this. I think that was the first holiday dish that I absolutely was like, I want veganized. Because the mashed potatoes were kind of easy. You just replace with a plant-based milk and plant-based butter. But the green bean casserole.
Yeah. Yeah. And I assume that most people probably have their thing your thing. That it's like, it's not this holiday without this thing.
Yeah.
And so you got to figure out that thing.
Yeah. And so you know.
And so hopefully, because we have so many different things. And if you've got one thing that you're not sure about, reach out and
we'll see if we can.
We'll see if
we have a tried and true recipe that we like. We
or
can
if
send
one
on.
of our team of
people
have something that they can share. So, and if this is too much for you, and you're like, y'all are out in left field talking about making a whole vegan holiday meal. Have you met my family?
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe you could just choose to have a quote unquote vegan option.
Yeah.
Do a mixed table. Maybe you've never done a mixed table before.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, like, sometimes the holiday, every single thing has some form of butter or meat or milk or something. So maybe you just have a vegan option. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, the mashed potatoes are vegan this year. We're going to also have a vegan roast in addition, or we're going to add some stuffed squash as a main dish, a lentil loaf, so that, one could choose to have a vegan holiday meal with everything that's on the table.
Yeah.
Or if you're still freaking out, just choose one thing. We're going to do a vegan roast this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to veganize the mashed potatoes this year.
Yeah.
The pumpkin pie is going to be vegan this year. You could just pick one thing.
Just pick one thing, yeah.
Amidst the giant fiasco that I don't know especially if you have a big family or a lot.
Yeah.
How I grew up, it's like the holidays could be a fiasco sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like growing up, you would have like close to 50 people, and so trying to veganize that whole thing for 50 people.
Yeah, I'm sure
might have been a little more challenging. Like our immediate family of 11, when we all get together, that might be a little bit easier. But like the huge gatherings like you used to have at Grandpa's house, that would be a bit rough. So that's where bringing the vegan option, so that you're eating too, but bringing the vegan option comes into play. And you bring enough to share, and whoever wants to try it can try it.
Yep.
And then it's funny because sometimes people won't even realize it. Like the green bean casserole, it's so good. I don't think anybody would have realized it there. I would have just made a ginormous batch and set it out, and everybody would have munched it.
Yep.
And some people actually, one of your sisters grew up not liking the green bean casserole. But then when I started making it vegan, because I had to make it from scratch, including the cream of mushroom soup from scratch, she realized, oh, I just didn't like canned soups. I actually like this. Yeah.
Yep.
And so so you might like expand somebody else's horizons,
yep.
Or like on the big family one, you might ask like, hey, I'm going to bring these two things, like my main dish to be vegan and this side because I really like them. Would you be willing to maybe just, substitute the milk and butter and the mashed potatoes so I don't have to make that also, and maybe they'd be willing to try it. Mm-hmm. And then that's, a third item there that ends up purposely being vegan, but then people maybe don't know or whatever. And
sometimes it can be a gateway.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah.
Too, because for us, it started like 10 years, 15 years ago. It started with us bringing some stuffed squash.
Yeah.
When nothing on the table was vegan.
Vegan, yeah.
And over the years, people like that. And then it turned into like, now they make two different stuffings, one vegan and one not vegan.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, the vegan stuffing is actually good if you use good ingredients.
Yeah.
And everyone's cool just eating it totally vegan.
Yeah, because I think what happened was people realized like, oh, actually, there were some people who preferred it vegan because they actually didn't like the giblets in the stuffing.
Kind of grossed them out.
It kind of grossed them out. And so, there's an option. There's giblet, no giblet. I'm going to go with the no giblet because the giblets gross me out. And then it's like, oh, it got eaten. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes people think they don't want to make double of anything, or they don't want to have something and make two in case it's not enough food. At least, in your Hispanic family, my Italian family, got to make sure there's plenty of food, but then it gets eaten. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then it becomes, or they realize like, oh, if I just do this, what could I do in this dish so that you'd be able to eat it? And then because they realize you're only eating like one thing.
Yeah.
And then sometimes your family's like, but I want to feed you more. I want you to eat more hito, Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. And then they're, well, how could I make this? And you tell them, and then the next year they make it, even if it's just a small batch.
Yeah.
I feel like one of your cousins and aunties did that a couple times for us.
Yeah. You made a really good point there that, how it just kind of reminded me of how making buildings accessible to people in wheelchairs and stuff like that benefits everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we can benefit from ramps and stuff like that. Like it benefits everybody. So like making vegan options benefits everybody, because like you said, the stuffing, maybe some people would have liked stuffing, but the giblets grossed them out.
Yeah.
And it's not that they necessarily wanted vegan stuffing, but they wanted giblet free.
Yeah.
Or somebody else, like, they're not necessarily lactose intolerant, but dairy is not the best thing for their stomach. And they just deal with the mashed potatoes because they like mashed potatoes so much.
Right.
But if there happened to be a dairy-free, they would really benefit from that. I don't know. It was just a little tangent that I thought of when you were talking about that. Like,
because I feel like we experienced that. Like there was people that ended up choosing either the dairy-free or the giblet-free or, the one that ended up being vegan. More people ended up choosing that. And so it still all got eaten. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And it was a nice, like, oh, it's not like we're making all this extra food just for those 2 vegans and blah, blah, blah. And vegan. It was just like, oh, different options for different people.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nice thing, too.
Yeah.
It's like it's a nice thing in a nice exercise in inclusion.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was a pleasant surprise for us a lot. And then, at the big gatherings like that with all the extended family, we didn't push. We brought what we needed for ourselves and either made do or just ate what we brought. And then some of the family wanted to provide an option for us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then that's how it expanded ever so slowly.
Yep, definitely.
Maybe not ever so slowly, but just expanded.
But it did over time. Yeah,
it did. And then with our immediate family is still, like 10 people deep. When we get, my mom and brother and your siblings and all of that, when we get together, it's still, a good sized gathering. And that's why at that for a little while we had a mixed table. And then slowly it got more vegan. And then one year we were just like, we really just want all the vegan.
Yeah.
Only vegan at our house. And we do Christmas there. So
yeah. And we go a lot more in depth in this conversation in our episode called Getting the Family on Board.
Yeah.
We talked all about this and about cooking for the holidays too.
Okay.
We have a whole episode on that.
So check that out if you need tips in that department.
Yeah. All right. Lots more food for thought. Mm-hmm. Plant-based food for thought.
Yep.
Some tangible baby steps you could take this month.
Yep.
This week.
Some bonus ones.
This day.
Yes.
And hopefully this helps jumpstart people even more. Wherever you're at on your journey, if you could use a little jumpstart to keep moving forward, keep taking more action.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like a lot of these tips, like how I'm just like in the kitchen the last few years, I feel like some of these tips could help me get my mojo back.
Right.
Like just do one thing, get a new vegetable, figure out a new meal. So even if you've kind of like stalled in the kitchen, you're fine on the journey, you're fine with what you're doing, but you're stalled in the kitchen. Maybe this could help too.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. I'm glad to hear you say that. That's where I was going with this list.
Yeah.
It could be somebody who's not even close to vegan, but they want to take a baby step.
Yeah.
Or somebody like you who's been vegan for years and years and years, and you could use a little swagger back.
Yes. Yes.
Kitchen swagger. Get your kitchen swagger back.
Yes.
Right? Get us excited again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So don't forget, if you have a pledge that you want to share, we would love to have you share that. Tag us on social media. You can email us and let us know what your pledge is. That would be wonderful.
And hopefully by the next episode, we can report on how Tony's flan came out.
Yep. Accountability. Thanks for the accountability.
Sure.
I need that.
Anytime.
I need a deadline too.
The end of the month.
Oh, it's built in. There you go.
See, it's built in.
This is a SMART goal.
There you are.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. Hope that these tips get you to where you want to be. And as always, you can reach out and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for joining us. We release new episodes every 2 weeks. You can always email us at plantbased@apnm.org Check out our website, apnm.org/plant-based for classes, recipes, and more resources.
See you in 2 weeks.